Okay, and thanks everyone for clicking whatever buttons Zoom asks you to click. And I will I'm going to click on a few buttons here. And uh, thank you so much, Mariella, thank you so much for leading us in the meditation today, Mariella. And and thank you for being you. Let's pass it over to you, my friend.
Thank you, Brian. And thank you everyone again for being here. So we're gonna practice for about 20 minutes or so. And as some of you already did, if you wanna keep your camera on or off, allow yourself to do whatever makes you feel comfortable and safe. And if you wanna find a position that is comfortable, relaxed, but alert, and closing your eyes if you wish to, or simply lowering the gaze. I am going to ring the bell to signal the beginning of practice and at the end of practice again. So if you wish, you can use the sound of the bell as an invitation to bring all of your attention to this moment. And as you start bringing all of your attention to this moment, you may also want to take a couple of deeper breaths. And taking a deeper inhale, inviting the body to soften. With the exhale, releasing any tension that you are aware is present right now. And dropping down the shoulders, softening the jaw. Taking a moment to orient yourself in the space you're in. And you can do that by noticing the different sounds around you. Noticing smells. Feeling the temperature of the space you're in. And bringing your attention back to sensations in the body. And noticing the different points of contact of the body with the chair, the cushion, the sofa, whatever object you are sitting or laying down on. Bring awareness to sensations in the back. Sensations in the sit bones area. Notice sensations in the legs. the soles of the feet. Feeling the contact of the feet with the ground. And bringing awareness to the earth underneath your feet, holding you and holding all of us. And always bringing a sense of curiosity and kind attention. And for the next few moments, just resting in the awareness of what does it feel like to be human in this body right now? Where to go? Nowhere to go, nothing to do. Just simply being here. To the best of your abilities without wishing that this moment is any different than what it is. Just resting in awareness of this human experience. Bringing awareness to the breath in the body. And resting all of your attention in the breath. With curiosity, noticing what does it feel like each breath? What does it feel like to be breathing? Where in the body do you experience breath most strongly right now? And allow yourself to rest the attention there. And see if you can really feel the breath. Feel the inhale and the exhale. Not thinking about the breath, really experiencing the breath. But also noticing how you don't need to make the breath happen. The body knows how to breathe. So you're here witnessing the body breathing. Feeling the aliveness of this moment with each breath. Noticing how this moment is unique. This moment has never existed before. And it never will. So each moment is a fresh new moment. cultivating being as present as we can for these moments. And very naturally, the mind gets distracted and gets carried away with sounds, images, thoughts. And that's what the mind does. And the invitation is to just notice when the mind drifted away from the anchor, and with kindness, very gently, return the attention back to the experience of the breath. And perhaps the attention is a little bit more settled now. So as the body continues to breathe, I invite you to expand the attention now to other sensations in the body. Feeling the body from head to toes. Again, always bringing a sense of curiosity. And an attention awareness that is kind. If you can notice what's the overall state of the physical body. How is the body feeling right now? The body feeling rested, tired. Is the body feeling light or heavy? Maybe somewhere in between. Do you notice sensations that are unpleasant? Do you notice pain? Do you notice the absence of pain? So just really being aware of the physical body. And to the best of your abilities, holding space for all of what's here. All the different sensations in the physical body are welcome. Now bringing awareness to the mental world, the activity of the mind. And see if you can notice what's the overall state of the mind. Just gently recognizing what's here. And again, to the best of your abilities, allowing allowing this experience, these thoughts to come and go. Notice how the different thoughts are just phenomenon that arises and passes by. They're not personal. They're not here to stay. But very naturally, the mind wants to attach to some thoughts that feel pleasant and reject those that feel unpleasant. But see if you can not do that, not attach to them, not reject them, just simply let the activity of the mind, the thoughts to arise and pass by. They're changing. And again, you're here witnessing that experience. Now bringing awareness to the heart space, the emotional world, and notice what emotions are present in the heart. What emotions are present right now? If you wish, you can label them. Happiness, sadness, joy. Frustration, whatever that is. We're here cultivating space to allow those emotions to be here. They're all welcome in this space, but also noticing how they are impermanent. They keep changing. They are experiences in the body that arise and they pass by. You are here witnessing all of this. So this is what makes up this experience right now. Sensations in the body, thoughts, emotions. And they are all in constant change. And again, we're cultivating, holding space for all of it, allowing it to be here. It's all welcome, all the different parts of you. Can you welcome all of it just for one moment? Remember that this is a moment to moment awareness. It's a practice. I'd like to invite you to check in within yourself and ask, What do I need to hear right now? What's a word or a phrase that could feel supportive in this moment? And whatever that is, see if you can offer that to yourself. Maybe placing one or two hands in the chest area and the heart space. You really connect with yourself and offer that phrase, word of support. It may be something like, I love you. I'm here for you. It will be all right. Maybe even just acknowledging that this feels hard right now. So really feeling how that support lands in the body. And as we approach the end of this practice, I want to end by inviting you to bring your attention to gratitude and find something that you can be grateful for in this moment. Maybe a part of the body, a person, an object, a pet, an event, whatever that is, and notice how gratitude feels in the body. And also taking a moment and finding gratitude for yourself for having made the time to be here and to be with you in this way. Some days it's not easy to do that, but you are here, being present. And however your practice was today is exactly how it needed to be. Perhaps this is the beginning of bringing radical love and radical acceptance for ourselves. So when I ring the bell, I'd like to invite you to see if you can make the rest of your day a continuation of your practice, so the practice doesn't stop here. But the rest of the day, we continue bringing these qualities of awareness that is kind, that is allowing, and to the best of your abilities, non-judgmental. Whenever you're ready, bringing movement to the body, gently opening the eyes as you let colors, shapes, and light come to you. Thank you all for your practice, for being here. Welcome to those of you that join us mid-sit. Now I'll pass it on to amazing Brian. And looking forward to our guest speaker and our talk. And so nice to practice together. So thank you all.
Thanks so much, Mariella. Thank you so much for leading us in that meditation. Ah, thank you. Yeah, and I'm so glad we're all here together. And for those who joined mid-sit, we are still the InsightLA Mindfulness and Deep Suffering Practice Group. We're in a practice group, an affinity group, and we're here every week. And I'm so glad that we're here together. And today we have a very special. I'm so glad, Shonté. Thank you so much for being here to talk. Get ready. You're about to hear some compliments. I'm about to give you some praise here. So prepare yourself. We don't have enough time for me to talk about everything, but I did want to just mention a few things. Shonté, you and I were both social workers. Um, there's social workers, and then there's social workers. And Shonté, um, it's really amazing. Bachelor's of social work from Berkeley, Masters of Social Work from UCLA with concentrations in social and economic justice and human service management. Um, uh, like uh, like Brene Brown, bachelor's, master's. Shante, you are the Brene Brown of the West Coast, okay? Brene Brown's got Texas, you've got the West Coast. And I love our field too because as social workers, we're told that maybe we shouldn't just focus on doing one thing as social workers, hence the social, that we sort of need to be ready for all of it. And Shante has extensive experience with nonprofit organizations, research, academics, leadership, mental health, social justice, wellness, and one other thing I wanted to share, Shante, I was a little intern walking around City Hall, and I would see you walking around from time to time. And Shante was not just an intern like me. Shante was a fellow, the David Bonnet Mayoral Public Service Fellowship, which is a big deal, and Shantae was helping with one of the most important things happening in Los Angeles, which is our homelessness issue. Shantae worked on the Safe Parking LA program to help people who were housing insecure, who were in danger. And again, I know this theme of safety and journeys is important to all of us, and I know it's really important to you. Helping people who were experiencing or at risk of homelessness to have a safe place to sleep at night so they could have safety, so they could feel safe at night. Um, Lots of other things. Maybe Shantae, next time you come, I will add more things to my intro. But I'm just so glad you're here. Thank you for talking about the journeys that we've all been in as social workers. We're trying to show up for other people and help them with their journey. And thank you for coming here and talking about your own journey and sharing that too. So Shantae, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you so much. Oh wow, that's a that was a heck of an introduction. And it's almost like I'm remembering, oh yeah, I did do that. So thank you because I'm very humble.
Well, and I think maybe one of the reasons why I always, and other people too, I know at our grad program felt so safe around you is that you didn't kind of throw it in people's face, all the things you've done professionally, academically, and also the personal things you've been through as a mom, as a woman. I mean, so many things navigating this world. Can I ask you maybe just the first question? And again, I don't really have a script. It's conversation. Um, when we were talking about these themes, what was it about the journey motif or the journey metaphor or the trusting and the fear sometimes of the journey? What about that resonated with you when you were thinking about themes for your discussion today?
Yeah. I felt like it was something that everybody could relate to. because we're all on our own individual journeys. And we have our highs, we have our lows. And I like that you said, let's take off our hats, all of the hats that we wear, the hat of a therapist and all these different roles. And just as a soul on a journey, we are all, connected, and we all go through highs and lows no matter what our roles are. And so I thought that that would resonate the most, how we relate as people first and not just as our profession or anything like that.
Yeah, and I can really resonate with this. I think this is the first time we've had a discussion, a topic about the journey of our lives. And also, I know it's important to you, like it's important to me, and it's important to all of us here about the connections we have along the way, the safe relationships, the safe connections, the not safe relationships and connections. And also as a mom, imagine and supporting your kids as they're on their journey too, and the extra pressure of loving and managing and hoping that their journey is one that is a healing journey too.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And as you're speaking of that, I was running out, making sure my 2-year-old wasn't beating down the door at the tail end of the meditation. But thank you so much for that meditation. Is it Mariella? Is that how I pronounce her name? That was wonderful. And it feels really great to be guided as well, because usually I'm like leading meditation, but to take that back seat and to be guided, oh wow, it was just so powerful. And so I didn't get to finish it all the way out because of the mommy role, but I'm glad I was able to return in time for the talk. But it's a dance being a mom, and it's beautiful. I had my most recent child 2 years ago, and it's a really big gap. My oldest daughter's 21, and I have one that turned 16, and then I have one that'll be 15 soon. So being a mom again at this age, it's just a completely different experience, and I feel like I'm a whole lot more present. And having the tools of mindfulness and meditation, and even like my spiritual practices and Reiki, like everything I feel has helped me to be able to thrive in all the different roles that I have, and be centered and know how to come back to center when I'm like teeter tottering in other directions.
Yeah, it's well, again, I hear from people that I care who talk to me about not only well the exhaustion, the different hats, also again slightly off topic here, maybe it is that all the people that have so many opinions about moms, hey, I don't know you, we're just strangers, we met at the grocery store, but let me tell you what to do with your kids. And it's like, listen, I'm just on my journey here. I'm doing my best. I'm trying to get eggs. And now there's a stranger walking up and either touching my pregnant belly. Thanks for that. Or somebody who's coming up and saying, hey, you should really consider. And so making this journey at times, I imagine, I mean, what, feeling more alone, feeling like, oh, okay, what, I guess I'm not doing this walk right. Sorry, I'm maybe not saying this eloquently, but it's just the pressure and the loneliness on the journey at times when really what we need is connection.
Yeah, yeah. The fact that my daughter is 2 and I'm still a breastfeeding mom, I've been hearing a lot of opinions from people, because in our society, it's like hurry up and go back to work, breastfeed for 6 weeks, or pump or give your baby formula, and so I do get a lot of like opinions and like comments like, oh, she's gonna be breastfeeding till she's 18, you're gonna breastfeed her across her stage for graduate, just, and it's kind of funny, but at the same time I would think about, what is the root reason of you thinking along these lines? Like, underneath it all, do you feel some type of guilt because you didn't breastfeed your child longer? um, do you feel that it makes you uncomfortable because you're just not familiar or you don't understand? So I always I'm very reflective, and I try to look beyond the surface of why someone is really saying something, it's because either they are afraid, or there's something that they didn't honor in themselves that they feel self-conscious about. And that's the reason why a lot of times they feel the need to keep you in your box. They want you to be in a box because it makes them feel comfortable, or they're forcing themselves to be in the box. So it's a projection. Um, and so I apologize if I'm getting too deep with this, but that's literally how I think. I'm like just really in like an analyzing mode of really assessing what it is. And that helps me to not get offended. It helps me to not take things personal. And I know the reasons why I'm doing what I'm doing. And I'm comfortable with honoring those reasons. So even if it looks different than other people, it's what I want to do, right? It's my life. And so I try to remind myself of that even when people assert themselves. Essentially, I think they mean well. They just don't sometimes understand how to be supportive or what to say.
Yeah, this idea of a box, that you and all of us are put in. People are trying to put us, or using the journey metaphor also, trying to get us off our path, or I don't know. It's looking back, are there other times? And for me, I know there have been times where people wanted me to be in a different box. And at the time I didn't know it was not about me, it was about their own stuff. I didn't know about projection. I thought that I'm off. I'm and so I can really relate to this. And other times in your sorry, I keep doing this. This is weird. I'm gonna stop doing that. Sorry about that. Sorry, sorry, sorry. But it's a really, for me, a very powerful image of people trying to put us in a box so that they can be more comfortable with something. So how and on maybe other times in your life where you felt like people trying to put you in a box.
Um, Honestly, earlier in life, I felt like I tried to put myself in a box. Honestly, I read the book, The Four Agreements. I don't know if anyone else has read it. I'll show you because I have it right here on my desk. It's The Four Agreements. I hear it's a really popular book. I think it was a New York Best Time Seller, by Don Miguel Ruiz. I read that book recently, and I was just so aware of how like there's like a societal dream of what the expectations are, what the rules are, and we're just kind of born into it and told like this is what it is. Like these are the rules of society, and we just believe it, you know? And I felt like I believed it earlier on. I didn't know that, this is a social construct. Like it took a while to wake up and realize it. And I feel like grad school and just higher education in general gives you more knowledge than just, I come from an underserved community, and a lot of people were not in higher education. And so it's a bubble of information that you are surrounded by. And that bubble is your world. And that's all you really know. And when I stepped out into higher education, that bubble expanded, right? And then you're able to be around lots of different type of people, different religions from different areas of the world, and your knowledge just expands of what the world actually is. And so bringing it back to the Four Agreements, I just thought I was supposed to be in a box. Like I was just supposed to do what the people around me at the time were doing, and whenever I would kind of um, listen more to my internal compass, I would be like, oh, people would like judge me, like, oh, she's timid, or oh, she's weird, or oh, she's this and that, because they want me to go back into the box. They don't want me to expand out of the box. And I did always feel different. Like, I think someone had mentioned that someone had mentioned before they died that, they just felt like they were different, or they were off, or something like that. And I did, because when I would always be self-reflective, and I would always pay attention to my internal compass, even though I was interfacing with the world. And there was just like a dissonance. I'm like, well, why is it this way? Why are people operating in this way? And I feel differently, and I'm being demonized for how I want to authentically represent myself. And sometimes under pressure, you just give in and like, whatever, I'll fit into this box. But then as you evolve, as you get more experience in life, as you broaden your horizons and, introduce yourself to more people, you start to realize, hey, wait a minute, there's some like-minded people. I don't have to stay in this box. There are other opportunities to expand. And I gave myself permission to let the box go and to be fearless and just being who I am. And it took self work, reading self help books, praying, the spiritual journey, like everything, just anchoring myself to say that it's okay to be me. Like, I literally came here to have a life and I'm going to live it on my terms.
Yeah, I came here to live a life. Yeah. And when I saw other people who had moved away from the box, either the box that family or culture or society or self-imposed, and they moved away from their box, um, I always thought that it was a quick thing. Like, give me the pill, give me the, where do I have to go? Is there who can grant me this? I really thought that. Again, in a society that says, we can have fast food. Why can't I have fast enlightenment or fast, mental health recovery? But oh my goodness, it it takes time. And like you're saying, the journey. And I know that maybe probably every one of us, when we're young and you're in the car, what do we say, right? It's like, are we there yet? Like, are we there yet? Are we there yet? Are we there yet? And like, am I there yet? Am I okay yet? And maybe that's another box too, it's like, I'm not okay unless thank goodness for mindfulness and these spiritual and contemplative practices and different approaches where there's a way to come back to the center. There's a way to come back from feeling lost. And it's just so helpful for me to hear you talk about the journey with our relationship with ourselves, maybe the most important relationship of all. And yeah, maybe, and I, we've got a few more minutes left, and you probably are going to have to come back.
That
Not
was quick.
have to, but you have to.
That was quick.
Um, Can you talk about your is a big question, I know, but can you talk about what it's like to be in relationship with yourself now that you've got a lot of things, you have your professional hats, mother, social justice, I mean, all some different things you're doing, and then there's also the relationship with Shonté with Shonté, that relationship and what that's like now without the box and without the self-imposed or elsewhere imposed expectations.
It's incredibly free. It's liberating. It really is. It really is. And it takes work. It takes discipline and it takes commitment and it takes reminding myself, to always come back to home, always come back to center. And I know that we had talked earlier on about this idea of home, and home is coming to self. Home is within your internal temple. And as your internal temple becomes more in your awareness, I would say, then it expands to your external temple. You know how they say we create our world, right? Our inner world creates our outer world. Um, and so I started to see myself as a temple and see myself in this body as home. And then I expanded my awareness to seeing my Pachamama. That's a term I call Mother Earth. Pachamama. You all probably familiar. It's a shamanic term. But I call Pachamama, Mother Earth is my home, you know, my inner being, my outer being, and then my actual physical house, is my home. And it's an extension of my sacred temple. And so I started to call my home my sacred temple, you know. And the more and more that I am in touch here, I see it just expanding out, expanding out, expanding out, expanding in my biomagnetic energy field, my orbit, expanding out to those around me. Like you said, you felt safe when you were around me, you know. Um, other people feel grounded when they're around me. I hear that come up a lot. And it's because I have that internal grounding. It helps that I'm a Taurus. I'm an earth sign. That has a lot to do with it as well. But I love me. I really love me. And I was a girl that was insecure. I was a girl that I was always told I was too skinny, or I wasn't this, or I wasn't that. I was never enough of this. I'm not black enough. I'm not this enough or that enough. It was just always something. And as I started to love myself, become more confident, become more secure in just who I am and accepting myself, I became more at peace, and everything around me became more at peace, you know? And now I have to like kind of balance between, okay, how much isolation do you want to be in, and how much community do you want to have? You know, you can't be too isolated, and you can't be around too many people all the time. So I have to dance in between having that time of isolation. That's when you're going within in isolation, that's where you really, I feel, have the most growth. That's where you evolve. That's where you listen to your own thoughts. You're aware, your awareness expands. And then you feed yourself. What you feed yourself in private shows up when you're out in public. If you're home and you're reading and you're praying, whatever your practice is, you're meditating, you're doing that self-work, it's gonna permeate throughout the rest of your life, your being, whatever, however you're interacting. If I meditate in the morning, I'm such a better person than if I don't. And that's going within, right? That's spending time with yourself. If I just wake up and go, I might have role plays, I might say a word that I shouldn't say. But when I take that time, even if it's 20 minutes, go within, honor yourself, say your affirmations, do your practices. I practice EFT, I practice Reiki, crystal healing, every tool I can. I needed all the tools because I was not quite balanced before. Grabbing onto those tools and utilizing them, it takes discipline. It takes effort. Sometimes it takes waking up a little bit earlier than the rest of the household, sacrificing a little bit of extra sleep, to pour into yourself, fill your cup up, and then it overflows into everything else that you're doing. You can't give out of an empty cup. And so me reminding myself of those things and knowing the things that I need to do and doing them helps me to stay out of the box and be myself and be liberated. So hopefully that answers your question.
Absolutely. And getting out of that box, there's no room in the box to dance. There's not enough room in there. It's, their box or my box that I put on myself. You can't dance in it. There's not room, it's constricting. But like you said, to be able to dance, to be able to move freely, to have spontaneity, to be present, and to be around people who like how we dance. Well, they may not like how we dance, but they like that we're dancing. I don't care if you don't like my dance moves, but people who love us and say, keep dancing. And maybe we are just walking with and dancing with people on this path. And I don't really want to be around people anymore that tell me not to dance. I don't want that anymore. And I know that none of us do. Shonté, thank you so much for being here and sharing your experience, your insights. I hope that you can come back to again, all these hats that you have, and you wear them all so well, and a space to come and also talk as a person, the and our souls can all dance together, and it really feels like that. And I'm so glad that we're friends.
I'm glad we're friends. So can I say one thing about your last statement?
Of course.
I think.
Yeah.
You said that you don't want to be around people that tell you not to dance.
Yeah.
And I wanted to say that there are teachers. Those that are around us that tell us not to dance, they are our teachers.
Oh.
Because they're reminding us, right? I'm going to keep on dancing. I'm not going to give up, And then you might dance. I'm going to keep on dancing, and maybe you're telling me not to because you really want to. And then you're going to start dancing because you see me honoring myself and not being in the box. And then eventually maybe you can get out of yours, you know? So.
I love that. Thank you. It's true. And you know what? Dancing is contagious. Laughing is contagious. Crying also. We cry for each other. Yawning. I mean, there's interesting how many things that we just feel each other. And I'm so glad we got to dance here together today too. Yes. Thank you so much. I'm going to turn off the recording, and now another party begins.